Identifying.
Standby one. Let's go.
You are about to experience the uncensored conversations, stimulating wit, and the thought-provoking wisdom. Bold, raw, and uncut. Right now, on the LanceScurv Show.
After breaking up, boyfriend snaps and kills his ex-girlfriend and shoots her 2 young sons. Latina Herring and Alan D. Cash, 31, had once dated. As Herring tried to move on, the couple argued at a local gas station. The police were called to break up their argument. The first argument was easy to resolve. However, the couple fought again, and all hell broke loose. Latina Herring and her ex-boyfriend Alan D. Cash had an ugly breakup. Police were called to a gas station to defuse an altercation between the couple. Apparently, Cash had keys to Herring's home, but refused to give them back. Cash informed police that Herring had keys to his vehicle. She returned the keys to Cash, and both parties left the gas station separately. However, that wasn't the end of their dispute. The police were called a second time to intervene between Herring and her ex-boyfriend, Cash. Cash and Herring were arguing as Cash had not returned Herring's keys. Surprisingly, the police searched Cash's vehicle and no keys or weapons were recovered. The keys were actually found in Herring's home. According to WFTV News, Cash then grabbed some of his clothing and was preparing to leave the home. Herring brought out a bag, saying it was filled with more of Cash's belongings. Cash refused to take the bag and left the home. However, Herring gave the police officers the bag to keep. It was clear she wanted to be done. The police officers were called to the Herring household again, although this time the situation was far worse. Herring was pronounced dead at the scene while her 2 sons, 7-year-old Brendan and 8-year-old Brandon, and Burtis Gerard Herring Jr., Herring's father, were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Not only did he fatally shoot his girlfriend, he also shot 2 innocent bystanders as he fled the scene. Police say the bystanders, a man and a woman, were not connected to Cash. The female is a student at Winter Springs High School. Luckily, a police officer was near the scene and was able to take Cash into custody. Miss Herring, her 8-year-old son, Brandon, I just found out, passed away. And, I was at work all day today, and I didn't get a chance to check my phone and different updates because this happened in Sanford, which is just right up the road from Orlando. It's the same area, Central Florida. And it made me think, I talk about a lot of different stories and funny stuff and ratchet stuff and weird stuff sometime and political, whatever. But this one, it's really getting to me when I hear how people are killing kids and killing their ex-significant others. Situationships, that's a new word. That's a word that probably wouldn't come to existence if it wasn't for the internet. I don't know, just a wild thought. But why are we killing each other like this? And to all the white people who are listening, you all would understand when I say this. That was some white people stuff that killing your kids and killing your wife. It's happened, yes, I know, but that's something that we just never really did en masse. You know what I mean? We were connected more. Now, those were Herring's kids, but it didn't matter if it wasn't Cash's kids, right? You get with somebody, and I'm just going to talk real now. You get with somebody, and it's one big happy family. Even if the kids don't really accept you, it's just you just don't do harm to the kids that way. You take a machine gun, right? I believe this was some kind of machine gun, and you shoot up a woman who doesn't want to be bothered with you anymore. Now, Cash, I saw a video clip of him being taken into custody. No homo. Men knowing men are like bad looking or good. It's a good looking young man. He's a handsome man. And I'm like, wait a second. He wouldn't have any problem getting into a relationship or finding someone else? What is it about us that makes us flip out like that? Now, I know some of you in the comment section will say, yeah, well, she must have had a smoking head game. Or it's not always that. It's not always what the woman does. It's not always the woman. Many times it's something in us, a void that's in us. The rejection, maybe. I really couldn't tell, because when it's time, I've been through breakups where I wasn't the one who initiated the breakup. And I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to force a woman to be with you? Kill her? If you force the woman to be with you, she doesn't want to be with you. And she's scared of you. If you make threats, who wants that? The beauty of being in a relationship is that the person there wants to be with you. Not where, she's like a slave waiting to run off the plantation when you turn your head. That's no fun. When a woman really loves you and she wants to give herself to you totally to please you, and I'm not just talking sexually, that comes from the way you treat her. That comes from her opening up. Flowers don't open up immediately. It takes time. And if the weather's bad, they'll close up. So when the atmosphere is bad, a woman will shut down. So you have to cultivate the love and not make her open up, but you make her open up by putting her in the right atmosphere, putting her in the right place where she can open up, because women have had past hurts and pains also, right? And maybe some things that she can't tell you or won't tell you or not ready to tell you. So you have to handle with care. Yes, we have some ratchet sisters out here. And I don't know the young lady who was killed here, right? But say, for example, there are situations where some women have really bad mouths and try to provoke a man, but that should never make you lose it and kill you. On the other hand, emotions and feelings and soul ties are so strong that in the heat of the moment, it can make a person do anything unless they're really rooted spiritually. Mentally also, but that spiritual rooting to know that you won't get ticked off. They say it's immaturity. Of course it's immaturity. You're underdeveloped. If you're developed properly, mentally and spiritually, you'll feel it, but you know that you have a future. I've been in some situations in my life where I was really, really hurt in my heart. I mean, really hurt, thinking like I could never get rid of this hurt, or things could never get better for me. But I would not have been able to live the life I'm in now, enjoy the reality I'm in now, if I let that cloud make me think that the sun never was going to shine anymore. You got to remember that every cloud that you have over you, when that cloud is over you, it makes the world look dark. It makes it look like there's no sun shining. But on the other side of that cloud, the sun is shining. In another part of the world, someone's enjoying the sun. It's just a matter of time for that cloud to move on where you can enjoy. But this doesn't make any sense. I mean, more and more, I'm reading more and more men and women. And I'm not going to get into proportions or finger point and say it's just women or just men. But these last few days, and I go to different sites. I don't just go to one source. People send me things and I check around. And so I read this one article here off of When Love Was Real, but it's all over the place. And I was shocked because I checked that website first, right? And I'm seeing this thing about, Cash killing his ex-girlfriend, Miss Herring. And it said, according to WFTV News, I'm like, wait a second. Unless there's another WFTV somewhere in the country, I don't think so. That means it's in Central Florida. So I checked the other sites. Boom. There it is. I see it. So I don't know where this is coming from, man. Men and women, brothers and sisters. That's just me talking street. I just came in from the street. But I just don't understand where it's coming from. Maybe we can come to some conclusion or something. Let's talk about this, because what causes, and let's just say it this way. We know, fellas, that women do crazy things too. But let's talk about us, right? And hopefully nobody within earshot. But you never know. This man lived in the same, just one county up from me. I could have got caught with some stray bullets. I mean, there are a lot of guns down here in Florida, and a lot of people are moving down here. People are under a lot of pressure to make ends meet. There just can't possibly be enough jobs for all of these people who are moving down here, right? I'm not saying that's it. I'm just throwing a few things out. And there's a lot of pressure going on. And men want to be men. They want to take care of their families. Now, I'm not saying him, because that wasn't really his blood family, but he had no right to kill him. You have no right to kill anybody. But there's going to be more like this unless we find out why and talk about it. To not talk about things like this is very unhealthy. We need to talk about these things, because in talking about it, someone with an earshot who has a potential to have this happen in their life might hear something to help them when that time comes where they potentially might snap. It's very important to talk. We don't talk anymore, but you know what? Social media has snatched the soul of many people. It has drained us of real life and connectivity to each other. That intangible that binds us together. We are so cold with each other. It's so easy to pass on to the next one, or our minds are zonked. Zonked? You could tell I read comic books when I was growing up, right? No, but seriously, our minds are zonked out, and we're not looking at reality as we should. You know, just as easy as it is to block somebody or unfriend somebody, some people say, well, I'll just kill you. No problem. You know, and why? He's got to come down from that. Some would say it's demonic possession. I'll go there. You know, I'm not going to say it's that way all the time. But we have unseen forces in this world that influence us. And they back away laughing. Now we're doomed to hell because of what we did in a foolish moment. You know, we watch for people provoking us. But remember, you know, on a spiritual level, when you're provoked in a certain way, and we have seducing spirits that whisper things into our ears, it's only to feed off of the emotion afterward. They're cooking up a meal at the expense of our life. Yeah, go ahead and shoot her. Kill her. Go ahead and kill the kids too. Kill the grandfather. Yeah, they deserve it. Well, they should have did that to you. Nobody else is that next nigga not going to get up in the house and enjoy that stuff. You see what I mean? And then when now you're crying in a jail cell, in an eventual prison cell, you have entities feeding off of your sorrow like an all-you-can-eat spiritual buffet.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.